Happy New Year to you and welcome to the year of our Lord 2025. Thankfully, we are all alive, feeling great, healthy, and it's just by the grace of God that we are here again. I welcome you to a brand new year, the very first edition of Ghana Speaks, and my name is Inokijo, and Happy New Year once again, and welcome. Ebusumo bibia akwaba musansumo bibia official pa 2025 in a Euromi. And you'll be no nya opportunity no ubura of fame. Inti sunyami wa ya dom mi aso say she biwa mo official pa. No more reshim so there I want do mu. And there be pensem yen chelpi o Sunday in dem burn and shut down doso. Na mafa inchia kese mafama oye crew amunyo wa ma mesi one Makai ane Irama onyara ndo onyara si no fincha kese so makuku anan onche be better new year message from him because anena debia no aya odeba ye dan yankopon ase me da waso so ase omanga ni nya so de yan ho ase de tumi ato aba na boni biala ensi. There are issues pending with regards to LGBTQ++, the new ministerial appointment coming up, that's the vetting committee, burden or relocating of the National Cathedral, all these and many more we're going to be discussing. Plus, Afenyo Markin's understanding of the vetting process. Some people call him the co-chair, others call him other names and so on and so forth. We'll be looking at other matters as far as the character of Afenyo Markin is concerned. So without wasting much more time, let's also welcome our new baby, a new company called Wako. I'll be telling you something about them very soon. When it comes to, supplying of sand, many other related, field, they are there to provide you. I'll be telling you more about them in our subsequent, episodes. So welcome to the program, Ghana Speaks. Wako is a new baby. Ebusia Mohonia Akwaba. Nyame onsho mbio. Jumezi ona wa from Wako your Hawk Investigations Limited. Mane Wako. Ana make a new baby. Nti me said na mbo wondin kakra. Na Hawk day when it comes to investigations number one. You can't take it away from them, from undercover to investigations to this to that. They are there to assist you. Iti ubilize when you want goal, ukun goal, or ordinary name we japazi waha, and they be with site view adamo. Umba woko school, wabana ma kibi ma kwado classroom or any very important and very key. They for a hawk. Adibi wachi wadrin wo. Inyeme bia entaso apart from sum and some down on count. But issues that seem to border on your, or that goes beyond your understanding as far as with business and when you may be a concern. Once you call on the Hawk Investigations, they'll be there to assist you. Call the Hawk Investigations on 020-228-3252. That's 020-228-3252. And just as I said about Wako, they supply sand, gravel, and any other later field. So those of you into construction, that's a company to fall on. And they say it to here and here, it is done. In quantity size, but more than the befre dam coffee won't be so or the phone Wako from 050 5714 871 050 5714 871 from ona wanyo batwetwe nkomo mo bibia akwaba Ghana Speaks in Elishi. Ya sha nsema ekula na ebien okokodo wo oye yemani. Let's begin with this LGBTQ++. There was a time A+ made an important statement, and he said this very bill will never be passed. The two parties or the two major parties will play hanky-panky with it. They will never sign. That is what he said sometime past on UTV. I'm not going to play the tape today. Maybe some other time I will. But I'm going to play you some tapes. They'll look at where the whole thing began from. without any political, license or whatever, without any political eye to it, but we are looking at it as it is. It's yeshimi sanyamanetine yakano pepe. It's on phone MPP or NDC. And let me put this thing with him there. Say yabo video be. Next a headline be the door. I didn't challenge edit them headline that to do. Or yimpa now or any video no, not in headline or that to do. I didn't challenge endorse it, but as some no woman here do usre ete na edi ye wedwuma. Afofo free day ya could be partial na ya hwe. Rollins in a time nkofo na bay one jantum kofo na time at time was in a time. But Mahama na akufado. Many a time you hear people say there, Mahama ne time no, why then one jantum dam or true. In fact, to the best of my knowledge, me kid of course Scottish Parliament to crown one majority walk out because what's it? Also on Jintum, and that was the time now Standobi to blockade or one Scottish journalist to be from interviewing the president about them LGBT who some nowadays. But the way Nyamalo talk on why that didn't have a political is gradually becoming more of a political, tool than becoming something that we should accept as a country that look, we don't want it. Because the MPP over the period, they've used it as a campaign tool. It has helped them. The NDC likewise. And one advocate is Sam George, who over the period has been very vociferous on this very topic, both on CNN and the BBC. At a point in time, he was even invited to the States to explain some of these things, of which he made Ghana and Africa very proud. But now, there seem to be new development. But let's go back how the whole thing began or how it started. Them tape here, Babishi. I tape, I am Mahama, no, Alekasa. On your piano, no, Alekaso. You used to say, boom, video Biden, or come home, Nazi. Now, you want to enter him there. Hawk ha, in same Biara, ya Bia election Bia, so Eden, or Bim. Prediction Bia or Bim. And they American, party nibi. I mean, I can work for any political party, but I didn't share there as a political consultant or student or journalist, me affiliate to any political party, no. Baby, I didn't done it because Obia knew about to hakere the virtual righteousness and I do today. But in a trial, best possible, the debiano, baby, I didn't done near the bottle. It is a research, na facts, finding. Damn na yaya waha. Yeah, research. Then we go into the issues and we try to discuss it. Should the video neti asama young Papa Mahama? Okay. That time no one need to know a very young so kakra. No, make a very that time not a young so kakra. She asama okay.
Talking about stigma, the stigma attached to homosexuality is a major problem I gather in Ghana because you have brought down the incidence of AIDS, but it has grown among this community of people. So how do you hope to destigmatize this aspect of life?
That's a very, very important question, and that's one of the areas that we are looking at. I mentioned it at the conference we had in New York yesterday. That is a conference on HIV/AIDS. We have been successful in reducing the prevalence level of HIV/AIDS generally within our country. It's gone from about 3.6% to 1.5% over the last 10 years. But we have hotspots, and these hotspots are commercial sex workers. We've been successful there too. We've brought the percentage prevalence rate from 80% to 25% today. But then now there is the category of men having sex with men. There's a very strong cultural hostility to homosexuality in our society. And so often people are not willing to own up to their sexual orientation. And so these people are normally underground. It's difficult to identify who they are. It's difficult to reach them with awareness. It's difficult to reach them with treatment. And so we are trying to educate people to understand that we need to remove stigma so that people can come out, of hiding and be able to say, yeah, this is my sexual orientation, these are the problems I have, so that you can reach them with the appropriate interventions that are necessary. For instance,
say, identity. It's no obi be catch or there based on what he said no. Ask them for because of they are stigmatized now. That is why I want to won't pay. Into say you tone it down on we to about out and watch one boy build there. Oh, what today na kasana day. So obi be catch or that damn time no na nkofo blueprint there no. Authority no cramp no then accept. At my say damn time no na de ne then or say the or shall say. If you are na do so obe question na do so be question mu no na so ketna oye Ajazira lady so nanim no so te asema no so ken is bound to happen no a very popular video obiale ni but I'll share na shensam na no so ken word by word inte.
You said a little earlier on about freedom of expression, so I want to ask you about what is happening in your country and homosexuality, for example, which I believe is illegal and it's punishable. I mean, why is homosexuality still illegal in your country?
The social, cultural issues, if you like. I don't believe that in Ghana so far a sufficiently strong coalition has emerged, which is having that impact on public opinion that will say, change it. Let's then have a new paradigm in Ghana.
Is that something you would get behind?
I think that it is something that is bound to happen. And when that happens,
what's going to provoke it? What's going to make it happen?
Oh, it's the activity, like elsewhere in the world. Like elsewhere in the world, the activities of individuals, of groups. I grew up in England. I went to school as a young boy in England, and I grew up at a time in England when homosexuality was banned there. It was illegal, and I lived the period when British politicians thought it was anathema even to think about changing the law, and then suddenly the activities of individuals, of groups, a certain awareness, a certain development grew and grew and grew stronger, and it forced a change in law. I believe that those are the same processes that will bring about changes in our situation. At the moment, I don't see that in Ghana there is that strong current of opinion that is saying this is something that we need to even deal with. It's not so far a matter which is on the agenda.
It's a hard day, no blueprint to be captured them Mahama Shasi, then I do say then Obotuedo. I one thing was the yet so I want them two political parties and they be a make a day. Same people NDCU provided on man book any problem. But do you nyama to kono when it comes to Mesa, what deal with Unkofu at the China at the Seno? One share ya, Yemu be they preach against illegality, kusa nyama. But trust me, someone to you one year serious when you maybe one day will be back to help go with them two parties or if you two or buy a most of one year. But for some of us, we will always preach against it. So why you maybe or why woman I didn't buy there, they be a campaign tool, what don't call for an agent would do that one. Because Mama Hama came a blueprint. Now ma Nanado so came a blueprint. So only one will be here to be there. Both them two parties in Yano. What the two was so there other one Sabeka. In town my A+ that's no cano. I am made many yards. You don't pardon Panas a realist. AK so AK so AK. Nasa Ghana Nankasa Pano. So you bro and you maybe one could sank them two parties, the BK you won't in Chen, no catching within. But one all about Ubiale you because the way a system now you know. Into call name pa MP plan this one. Are you possible? Because no why be there answer question no. Because of the system now you creating. And we should be worried. Osura nyama beye political. Bibia political well amani. Oya da ma yentum ko yinani. Now yente asama President Mahama okay che oya dem BBC reporting. Na dem BBC guy na Ghanaian me e fini din kakra. Na de bia na ehun make there abofunu de bia no we use na yem bibifo no. One no assign them LGBT sense in America. Onye Obama. Bibinio Kenyani The my benti ya so in a way the way you see my baby Sama Mahama that means some money about LGBT one semi. Te answer Mahama or the man, young papa. Te answer the man.
Well, that's Ghana's loss.
Ghana is among the few African countries to pass draconian anti-LGBT legislation widely condemned by human rights groups. Will you sign it into law if it is brought before you?
It's not an anti-LGBT, it is a family values bill. It was approved unanimously by our parliament. You see, it's against our culture, African culture. It's against our religious faith, Muslim and Christian and all that. But I think that we must look at the bill, and the president must indicate what he finds wrong with that bill and send the bill back to parliament. Or alternatively, he must send it to the Council of State and get the Council of State's advice.
Is that what you would have done?
That's what I would have done.
And will you ever sign an anti-LGBT bill?
It depends on what is in the bill.
Corruption is a very big problem in Ghana. You partly lost the 2016 elections.
Seti. It's no question now. I can't be signed on there. A best sign now. Also, I'm not sure BBI okay. Why not? Or best sign. As some okay, you know. And as Sam George, what besides Sam George there? I say, what the one sign. Even on old papa your man pay Mahama crowd okay be. But recently, as some okay there, what the burn a bar. Abeded or to the ocean and sana. Why then we will be beer that in or the bottle. About some George so okay. Yinti.
You push it. The president, your candidate, when he was interviewed on the BBC, he said he will now look into what is in that bill.
You know, that's a misconception that's been put out. And I listened to that full BBC interview. President Mahama has been clear that he will sign that bill, and he has no option than to sign that bill. President Mahama will know no peace from Sam George until he signs that bill. And he himself has said that to the clergy, that as a Christian, as a member of the Assemblies of God Church, he will sign that bill. What the president said to the BBC was in response to why President Akufo-Addo has not signed the bill. And he said to them, look, what you, President Akufo-Addo, should have done, instead of rejecting service of the bill, was to have received the bill, stated what his displeasure is with the bill, which is what the Constitution says. The Constitution in Article 1067, President Mahama, in his response to the BBC, was referring to the Constitution of Ghana. Article 1067 says that when he gets to the president, he must, within 14 days, indicate whether he would sign or not sign. If he chooses not to sign, he then has to bring it back to Parliament and then state in the memo to Parliament the reasons why he's refusing to sign and add the recommendations to remedy those challenges he sees. Otherwise, within the 14 days, he can refer it within 30 days. He can refer it to the Council of State, who have 30 days to give him advice. That's what President Mahama was saying in that BBC interview. He was not saying that he now has to read the bill. President Mahama has read the bill. It's because he's read the bill that he told the clergy that when he becomes president, he will sign the bill, because President Mahama has no problem with anything in the bill.
Sam George, I want to go to that before. As someone can, initially, yes, now our opposition. And he was saying those presidents, we seek advice from this and that and look at the constitutionality. No, the BBL did na de pepe or Kenya to them. Elkano. Oh, we now can be sent direct question. Didn't one can so be win my best signer. Also provided the mission BBI, but according to also Sam George, President, are you aware of this bill? Why should BBL more okay? In time to call your mess sign one can. That's what you see as a political tool now. Actually, what you see as a political tool, no, the really power now. And the man, the other one, yonder, watch out. Since Adama Basin there, watch out. What's Marcy? So, I did you a while, sometimes, yeah, you pen opposition, you who may say becan. Now, you have a government to say you who may say becan. The Biame Cadet, Timinino, and the Bible will be. For all his life in the anno, I do a friend 1,000 Ghana upon who be that. Now, so be raw politics at the age of 20 something, 30 something. No, cars are one on ye easy. Then you mean Uncle what do you name you being what they say? Omana yetimuno, Bibia ya political. Oma paying was there sign a bill no by a law. Because Catholic Bishop Conference for orchestra we. And the idea be better, which I want to sound on confined to us. Manela can there say, and couch and uncle say, so me ya. Like there wouldn't be the need to put a young for Bill being brand in and Yamanyamanadi. But nonetheless, no. And Bill do, that's a tomb shima, a beshim, not in one day Bibiala or the Dean. But the whole thing I make my in a Canada. On your blame also the blame, na now do na MPP unkotin. I want to Niniala, you are part of the problem. It's that I ask a very simple question that this bill would it ever be signed? I want the uncle for 2 years. Well, short of best sign idea now. Well, I believe so. No, best sign. I believe because some judge now some more can. What is sign of cry? I will be a problem with him. That's my some judge now some more can. Them LGBT community no were very strong. When uncle far watching team. But you see, for me, the mission na konye issue. Beyin was so better. Sex adibia ye unde oye kukomaze. It is a beyin was so better on phobia ho. Why do say pass a bill for such a turn another against it and be them? But they want a situation now. Obey a normal thing they beyin ebeshana tell me for abodwi na okobrane wa be fede obe seek my hand in marriage. Well, imagine how beyina ojan wan won pompo na ne de beyina ba aba sema ye nya ebusuan ye hye wan no de beyini le ma wal ade madam beyini adwene kra no onye adwuma anya papa it no ade we no ayarba ye dem demonic influence ayarba ayadwim yarba osere ye hye na ye tas ne yade ni funya possible no na bill no tumbe ye adwuma na ye tume den ya buon kwofo. Look, whether bill no was signed or one sign or one kwofo nje. But that bill no botuma stop here advocacy them kwofo bets on there me feed them me ankra me pete me dam dan ye menya no du botwa. Enti dam LGBT sam no. Wo ma yen hwe ni je. Because if sanyama court them or come aden be political and the waka ha one touch ya one day before our President Mahama ever be president, and let me put it on, I've never seen, I've never heard him on any platform or seen him there or best sign a bill being to law. Mentally that work at the but many a time more candidate or a Christoni on Jintum or a Christoni or a culture bottle. That is what I normally hear him say. But there we make categorical statement today or best sign. Men say that I stand to be corrected. And that's one thing a lot of people won't pay attention to. President Mahama, I've never heard him stand on any platform to say that when he comes to office as the president, he will sign a bill against anti-LGBT. I've heard him many a time saying that he's a Christian and that his beliefs is against this, and as even an African, you're also against it, it's against our culture, this and that. But I've never heard him say that I will sign a bill into law. I stand to be corrected on this. That's why I'm saying that whatever thing that I'm saying today, let's not read political meanings to what. No. Let's look at it as Ghanaian citizens, as Africans, people who believe in our culture, as simple as that. Our issue are unyapa. Now, sir, the Madi one shenya Obama 2028 no. Yemu binom ana make a show no. Tell me I predict no. 2028 already able to actually my nyamaboko by too early. Aban ampo kra no on for me aban left alone there but there be judge. Into no one day ya the bottle kakra. Now, the next one has to do with relocation of the National Cathedral. The world most expensive hole here what Trinidad. I was here spend over $50 million. Emma the water in swimming pool. Emma wabe in SMP. I do recall there one of the journalists during the interaction with the media on Mahama, I think that either Oma Sanda na de more news for our joy. Woman could be saying there, them whole no about then. As when you get there, we will cross it. And I did boom my bay. And pass you cross. It is question part make a statement to be we bound there, you to trebi. You are the two platform you may be more share. The state should not have anything to do with sponsoring anything like National Cathedral because Ghana is a secular state. It is so private person be solicitor and the non see MPB solicitor non see. Sir Obi Dinani person man this and now this, but it shouldn't be a state thing. The National Cathedral then. Even Christians nanka sakrano. Ibi to tight, ibi into tight, ibi katros, ibi katros, ibi boban, ibi boban, ibi in Kanano, ibi su Kanano, ibi su actually under the Christian religion and Pokrano into Tempiwo. And so the idea of even building a cathedral no because Elisi no one wa kwa kejan wode Ghana ye ni bibia ye fa no sofu panyin wa ha ye ni bi wa ha ye ni dan patriarchal age no another mosaical age no ye wo the current dispensation ye wo mi democratic era know what's the cathedral now one like mentasi the whole thing mentasi them cathedral dey what so other nyama bi wo ho a obotu attract foreign investors master them nyama wonje kan na omboa. So for me on the issue of LGBT the National Cathedral no the only thing na my minimum Mahama Kenya I am a down ho ne there it shouldn't be a private bill but usida yada state was sponsor I know the Okande was sponsor this LGBT tenor I wanted the menua je ho pa there them in wire network state ni ya na ya jatum don't say there them LGBT sem no oba Ghana kruyi o one o can not the charge of from the menua je ho but can no keka kan ho ne da Afenyo be because some George say ahwem wo do sa Afenyo be hwem to won tu yi one no can call na one na all can differently. People voted for you massively because of them corruption, some na inti ma akada be biano ye. And then on the next National Cathedral and same so no. Shouldn't who may cyber hand nyama hedafa. You try on yaba. Yaba she oye Afenyo Markin. The character Afenyo Markin. In try on basis here.
In a world where darkness rules, a world without a law, a world where truth is hidden, this is the world where we shine our light to make it better so you can sleep. We are the hunters of truth. Of Investigation Company, we hunt for the truth. Call us 0 any day, anytime, and we will be there to hunt for your truth.
Afenyo Markin, you'll be me follow natural pa. Now he's an interesting personality. He's a man who's so good when it comes to settling of disputes, peace, and so on and so forth. He has punchlines as well. I'm going to take you way back to somewhere 2015-2016, a video between himself and a gentleman called I think Don Eric Atta. Yes, Don Eric Atta, formerly of TV3. He contested with him at the time at the said constituency, Futu constituency or something like that. Kwamena, ne constituency. Now, I bet say punchline CBA of your mark in them terminal or the main. I bet in America back to that era. Them vetting it's about time also that Afenyo Markin Ocha today. He's no more the leader of government business. He's no more the majority leader. He has to accept reality. No, I a minority. It is our veteran committee. Wow. You are doing it in the interest of the state. Because Haruna Abayehu, Alban Abayehu, but no, those are better do you, my friend, then a Pepe, Joe Wise no so wa ba betin do you will be any leadership for them vetting one. But my last time I called Mr. Chairman, my processing is so boring. Oh, the way I then ama nkofu losing interest to Mr. Chairman, I didn't care Chairman. I see the MPP funnel. I didn't hear problems. So why a problem? There's a time for everything. Afenyo, there's a time for everything. Mukrum Fantini. Shakona 2016. Punchline by the madam I been to our friend or Eric Don Ate. Share punchline by the man pa. Share over.
Markin keeps talking about, all these tremendous resources. This is a page from Thursday's edition, April 21st of the Daily Graphic. And it says loan defaulters, very big on it. And you can see the kinds of amounts, 18 million, 3.9 million, 18 plus 4. That's 22, in excess of 22 million cedis. I don't think that anybody who takes 22 million cedis and doesn't pay it back and brings disgrace to his constituents can point to anyone else in the country and the world and say, oh, you have more money than me. That is simply not true. That's a lie. Okay, that's one. Two, when it comes to the roads, here's the document about the roads. It doesn't mention Afenyo Markin anywhere in it. When it comes to telling lies, here's a writ of summons, libel, against our supposedly honorable member of parliament, and this is for libel. It's telling lies against his previous opponent, Honorable Mike Hammer. When it comes to tractors, yes, he's provided a tractor, but in 4 years as an MP, you should have been able to do more. By now, the farmers should be organized and they should own their own tractor, not pay exorbitant rates for your tractor. By the way, the tractor that I provided came at a lot less. His was 120 cedis plus diesel. Mine was 80 cedis per acre, nothing on top. So I don't think that this is something that we should argue about. Look, we say that fish rots from the head. And I think that fish also grows from the head. That's why people who love fish and who have real Efutu and fisherman DNA and real Efutu blood in their heart. Now, these people appreciate the head of the fish more than anything else. And we also have to be very careful whom we choose to head our development, in just the same way as we are very careful when it comes to the head of the fish.
Bridget, I think that in the beginning of this debate, my focus was to deal with issues and not to be wasting time on issues that are so irrelevant and unnecessary. But since my brother has done me a favor by bringing that newspaper publication from Access Bank, which I issued a rejoinder anyway, is he aware? Normally I won't attack people's sexuality if your belief, your sexual orientation does not matter. But you, your own constituents, your executives, have raised concerns that you are a gay. And why have you responded? No. The point is that you are, because one of your own boys spoke about pampers, big pampers that was found in your bag, and it became an issue. I thought that your sexual orientation is your own matter. No, I'm coming. I'm going to the point. I thought that your sexual orientation, if you are gay, I don't have a problem. But if you are coming to say that somebody who is trying to attack me, a matter in court, which is supposed to be determined by a court, and you think that, hey, it is okay for you to come here and say that there was a publication, when you are well aware that I've issued a rejoinder, and then I have instructed my counsel to sue the bank.
40 seconds.
Is it okay for you to come and sit here and you talk about moral? What did you say? Moral turpitude. And then you think that it is legal for you to remain a gay?
You're really confused. Eh?
No, I'm asking a simple question. Because normally I will not attack somebody's sexual orientation. But the point is that if you come and sit here, listen.
I think that you
are 48 years.
You
come here and then you say that attacking. Bridget, you've asked him. Hold on.
Thank you. Several questions. So you have your moment. You have a moment. So Eric, I'm giving you a few moments to respond.
Then I would respond back.
That's fairness. Don't worry.
You come here and you don't want to talk about the issues.
Alex, so Eric, just a quick bring clarity to
Why must you be wearing pampers?
Let's bring.
What inspiration do you intend to?
Actually, I think that it is lawyer Afenyo Markin who is gay, because he's sounding very gay now. I don't know where he found those pampers, but it must have been another aspect of his confused mind. And I bear him no grudges for that, because actually we are not just brothers. He's actually had a child with my sister. I mean, direct sister.
Okay.
And everybody in Winnipeg knows this. So if he chose to marry into a family and have children in family that he says he thinks so little of on national television, well, that's on his conscience. That's what moral turpitude. When you don't have strong morals, and that's one of the things that the leader must have. You must have morals. I'm a responsible father of 5 children. The whole constituency knows it. They've been on television. The whole country knows it. So to call me anything else is simply a figment of his over-fertile imagination.
You are raising issues.
Really
you are coming with allegations because you. Come on, you see, we can't stand it.
Allegations.
But why can't you
the word computer? You can't pronounce computerization.
You have not been in Winnipeg before.
Not been in
what has been your experience in life?
Alex, you will have a minute.
It is what has been your experience in life?
It is Winnipeg being.
What have you done for yourself?
And I've done more for others. Somebody doing for yourself is fine. And I can agree
but what have you
that
achieved
Alex has done so much for himself.
What have you achieved?
Is doing something for the people.
No, but if you've done nothing, how do you do something for the people?
And that is what I've been doing all of my life. And if you look on my background and you can just Google me, you will see all the tremendous work I've been doing for others. It's called selfless service. It's something that Alex knows nothing about, and even if he does, he lies about it. It's just a shame.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Just take one, Alex.
The point is very simple.
No, the point is
that when people come on board with nothing,
look
the
at
immediate,
you're desperate.
The immediate attempt is to attack.
You know, that's what they have done. They called our ex-president gay. You have been attacking. Gay means you're a winner.
You have been attacking.
I don't need to attack you.
First of all,
I don't need to attack you. Just go to Winnipeg now.
First of all, you've done nothing. You've done nothing for yourself.
I have done more than you.
You've had all the opportunities in life to even educate yourself. You cannot represent the aspirations of the people.
That is so selfish. Look, can you imagine?
I have been
that has
with the people of Winnipeg.
Oh my word! My be so ni be jito 3 bi said that I would pampers allegation in Obama aye. And no be yeah or a gay or for home way. So a gay or a gay. No, that was debating him. That was Afenyo Markin for you way back then, 2016. So me say because I can't look far. In some be now so can say personal no so be personal. I played with this tape because we're vetting committee one. What can some equally BNB be a time there? No, if you guys want us to go on that rough way, we'll go there with you. So when he makes such statements baby ofileba because why a be pen on national TV that was 2016 and then done arty. Meaning baby is your my channel. Punchline no you do pa. I feel I do the benti. It so I can say be there. Charlie will play rough, very rough. I said 1 year MPP NDC as well. You are there for the state after elections. There's not like MPP NDC. It's my chairman Chairman Bernard I have for onye neduma. Mo onye neduma. Because in your maybe wa or more kwana our time our beno one and that alone is a plus. It never be say abusing or say tone it down. Calm down. Because even the last time I didn't be more like personal. Like questions people will be say I can feel for one what they want put outside the extra can yet no what they more. All because and your partner or abeni. Mo processing eduma. Where you have to come in and not abim. Baby why yeah menu J time will be you see some a word be against the BB. We a lie or sabadabadi. And our chairman Kedoy on withdraw. You stepped in. That for me was beautiful. But mama kade opinion me pana asem ne de. Tama young papa Kennedy Japan. Animuta Kanya, give and take you parliament where exchange where Tisha Obani Asha Obano. After the video now, Afenyo Markin, no so Kennedy, I no call out. Now, okay, setting me BBI Sondre. The same Afenyo Markin Yasuna, oh yeah, minority leader, ne assistant, Honorable Kofi, something. to bomb them out. I had another one submission after another and the final statement and another you parliament no. In summer Pakakeno, Yama Rebecca. Ohun minority leader will be sent there now. Mukuna by no dio. Into one night China and can KJB Baba, but one and a film also money. Put him there. Afenyo from way back national CCR and damn system. But I don't call on Jim Tum that he's yet to accept the reality that he's no more the majority leader. He has to accept that thing. I had a man, young to me and queen in him as a man. Very key. Very, very, very key. Listen to this statement by, Adam Bona. Then Bravak.
If the minority side is going to go this way, it becomes very difficult because then if you ask me that what were some of the questions that I remember and the answers, all I heard was chairman. That is all I can remember.
It was a bit disruptive for you.
Chairman. And he will say it 100 times. And the chairman will be telling him, chairman. No, Lantam.
It's interesting.
It's for me, I just think that this is not what we are paying our members of parliament to do. I have to be very honest. Very disgusting what happened. It wasn't good. For me, I was suspecting cool heads. The chairman is in the chair. Everybody must pay attention to the chairman. It is his show. Listen to him. If we disagree, let the others talk. You'll be given the opportunity to talk. And the way it happened is almost like, I don't know whether you've been in any debating class before. Debating, yeah, I mean.
Certainly I have.
No.
When I was young.
I think Honorable Afenyo Markin, Buama also did well. Honorable, is it Yabuama?
Yeah, Patrick Yabuama.
A couple of them, even Sami Awuku, who wasn't a member, did very well. I think the MPP's minority leader, I think he needs to up his game by
toning down a bit.
Just tone down. Don't want to be noticed. Let your questions be noticed. But his temperament and others were noticed, but not his questions.
Well, we're going to probably see a lot more of that. We don't know what's going to happen.
I hope not.
At the next vetting, because the president is still here to appoint, more of his appointees, more of his ministers.
I'm daring.
We'll see.
I just felt.
We'll see how.
We'll
see.
And all deputy ministers are going to be vetted, eh?
Yeah, every minister has to be vetted by the appointment.
So is that what they are going to do?
Well, we don't know. Well, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
I hope.
It is the man to know Efa or Bobo. Because that Mr. Chairman, it was too much. But let's say congratulations to one so Bobo Wundin for appointment. Sami Jimfini Dameti that was there. Nedan so today. Nameti there. Wabeno, Mineral, your friend and CEO of Mineral something. I want to know that Sika or Hopper. It is Sami. Momo, congratulations. How do you do so? But how do you do so? The Minister of Education, that man, no. He was once our president, not a Nooks president. Now Haruna, no. I'm a one of them. Ding. The big guy on crown for a politician now I join NDC and other young can come in because none of them are time not a Nooks president, no. None of them. No, my abandoning Yasundre. And the other education minister. The impression at the time now a Nooks president, no expect the same thing. That's now. Them we ask too. After all these years, it also more congratulations. So no big biala. Wabonidin Jeffa Gomeshi ano active ghost years. It's urban creative industry ni hwe na enyama onkodo wo ho. Me baba end no. Me ka damasemi na me fontwom. Obi bi sam the how do we say make bia obim because I told you that Mahama brace yourself for the coming storm. And them no kwafo hwe pa. Enyama obakokodo. Me catch the moment that there will be a change in government, Kofu be take over state institutions for obey, and no way see. But you want to entry me them in your Ghana for. Unfound the MPP and not NDC. Adna kwana yeko akese no. Ghana nyo. Oh yeah, what the baby in your man and Cassasua sense ya. Nena Susia Sansa Acade or Manu Mayason. Sisia Yanko Ponado. Yenya a band for full. We bia the dizzy or dinner an empire body tell on man paying Mahama on the NDC. They won't succeed. Not on man and Fanutuma unfra. Let's not divide our country into partisan lines. We are one people. You are NDC, you are NPP, you are independent, you are this, you are that. All of us are Ghanaians. That is the most important thing. Let's forget. This one says that, oh, let's forget about these confusions. Oh, I'm an NPP, my government is now in power. I'm an NDC, my government is now in power, so I'm going to take this property, I'm going to take that property. Power is never permanent. Have that at the back of your mind. At most 4 to 8 years, you are done. Another government comes into place, and what happens? We need to be very careful. Otherwise, one day, we push this country into fire. We have to, we have to stop that thing. It's very unhealthy, very, very, very uncivilized for any Ghanaian to attack another Ghanaian because he or she believes that he or she has a political will or power now because they have their government in place. It's very bad. Let's try our best possible to avoid some of these things and move forward. Thanks very much for making time with me on the show today. The name is Inokeju. And this was proudly brought to you by the Hawk Investigations Limited and WACO, the new baby. Now let me tell you something about Hawk Investigations Limited. When it comes to investigations, someone is playing hanky-panky with your wife, with your husband, and you want them to track the movement of this individual. They'll be there to assist you. You want to know what's happening within your company, your properties. You want to know what is happening. Someone has stolen something from you, and a person is nowhere to be found. Once you provide the pieces of info that is needed, the Hawk team will be there to assist you. So
call them on 020-228-3252. That's 020-228-3252.
Once you call them, they will be there to assist you. The new baby WACO. Like I said, when it comes to supplying of sand for construction, for private businesses, for public business, whatever kind of business that you are doing that you need sand, you need gravel, you need this, and any other related field, you have to call WACO. So those of you in abroad, those of you in the construction arena, those of you in the estate arena, please take this very number as soon as possible and call them. Their prices are very moderate. They will provide you with all you need. Call them on 050-571-4871. 050-571-4871. Call them and they will be there to assist you. I'm grateful that you've made time. I was ably assisted by Makai, my Macy, and Irama. May the good Lord bless you. My name is Inokeju. Happy New Year and bye.